Welcome back to tonight's sad reality. We're the only reality more sad than the fact that I'm recording this at 2 in the morning once again, is the fact that I honestly couldn't bring myself to sit down and record a video tonight. I played Cult of the Lamb for like 7 hours today, after grinding out the rest of the BT6, like what was the sweepstakes event that they had going on. But I really didn't want to sit down and record a video tonight, but gotta keep the streak alive, so might as well. I know what better way to do that than to talk about something that pisses me off to literally the moon and back. Also, that's not it. You are a cashier now. Cool. I'm probably just gonna sit here and do this for the entire day, assuming the employee spawns in properly. This game's undergone so many different updates, so, actually, if I do this, we're gonna go to the other one. Cool. I like the right-hand side, big fan of that. Did I change any of this, or is it pretty standard? 846. Oh, there's a comma. But yeah, so there's so many things that bother me with American consumerism. I'm doing my best to go through as many of these as I can tonight in one video that's as cohesive as possible. For starters, you notice how fast these people are walking? That's kind of true IRL sometimes. Sometimes people come in like zombies and act like zombies. Like, my favorite story that I'll tell people is that an old guy. Turn up, make your turn. Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember how to play this game again. There we go. Nice. But yeah, so one of the things that absolutely just bothers me, or the story, gosh, where am I going with this? The story that I want to tell was, I had this like, one old customer come into the store, and, he just, like, had his hand balled up, and he just came over to me, just didn't say a word, just handed me trash. I'm thinking, like, really? Like, just not a single word. I've even had people just, like, grunt at me. It's just, like, for communication, and I'm like, is this, like, a normal, like, breathing human being? Like, genuinely, I don't think stuff like that is real. Like, it doesn't seem like real people, you know? I joke with one of my coworkers, it's like, oh yeah, we got zombies coming in the store. Or, stuff like that. But is that normal in other countries? Like, is the state of, like, is America, like, the normal for all this? I'm hoping it's not. I don't think it is. But to me, that's always been my question. Like, I work at Dick's Sporting Goods, just to clarify. I feel like that might help contextualize things a little bit. So it's a sporting goods place, right? Dick's Sporting Goods, makes sense. But the big issue is, our customers aren't that great, you know? And I feel like that can be said just about anywhere as well. But, I don't know. It always makes me kind of wonder about the state of life. When you see stuff like that goes on so consistently and you're like, man, this is so bad. You know? I was just talking to my parents the other night too, and I was like, I wonder if politically stuff would be as garbage as it is if people weren't so, like, brain dead, you know? Like, would politics or, like, the state of the world be in a better state if society as a whole was better? My guess is, honestly, probably not. So math is hard. This, back 2 cents. Gotta grind that extra 2 cents. I know you can technically over-return the amount of money, but we're on that flawless streak, gotta keep that going. This. That's one of those things, it's just like, every person that comes in, it's not like we hate everyone, and I can't say I hate everyone, because that would be antithetical to the religion that I believe in. It sucks, you know? One of the other things, too, is sometimes people just expect you to be super fast, the speed that you're walking, for example. I think I said that earlier, I don't know if I said that in this recording or the previous one. The previous one was failed, because guess what, the audio tweaked out again. I wonder how many times I'll say that, because it's happened a lot on this channel, I suppose. That's what we get for low quality videos, low quality effort, and this honestly just being a bit of an experiment, I suppose. The YouTube channel. So I don't think this will be successful long term, but I'm also trying to prove myself wrong. So, we'll see. Kind of like consistency versus quality, so I think quality will always win. But I've heard from a lot of people that are like, you should start your own YouTube channel, and do whatever you feel like. I'm like, that's cool, I guess. Maybe I'll do that someday. But like, not on the level that I've done it previously, if that makes sense. They're like, you should do just a commentary channel, you should stream on Twitch, and I'm like, that stuff's cool, but it's not where it's at, in my opinion, just because I feel like Twitch, in general, I mean, hey, it's an adpocalypse thing with, like, YouTube. But on top of that, it's just not as good as YouTube is. Like, you get everything, not just the highlights, and put on YouTube just for the highlights, you know? That's kind of been my resounding opinion for a while, and I know a lot of people that I know match that, but I'm also not super up with streaming culture. Anyways, back to stuff that pisses me off in American consumerism, culture, stuff like that. You notice that these people don't look at you when you're checking them out, they're just like off that way, basically. That's actually pretty accurate to how it is IRL. They don't actually look at your face, they just expect you to scan everything in half a second. There was one time a guy put like 8 things up on the counter, and I was like scanning the second one, taking the clothing sensors off of it so he wouldn't get flagged when he, you know, like walks out the door. And he was like, "You done yet?" And I'm thinking, no, I just scanned the second item. Like, I don't know, am I crazy? I mean, did I just like blank out? Did I just like dip out for a second? Like reality just decided, hey, you know, I passed out for like 5 minutes or something? I don't think so, you know? But they do say you develop schizophrenia in your early 20s or something like that, so best hope that doesn't happen to me after all that I've seen in retail. Like, it's really funny, people talk about having, like, bad bosses, bad managers, whatever. I'm just gonna put it out there, if you can work in retail, you can handle anything like that. And for what it's worth, too, I like my managers and coworkers and all that, I think they do a pretty good job. I mean, there's always stuff that could be better, but it's like, I don't expect perfection from anyone, and I think I'm a bit of a letdown myself on a good day. Kill it with self-deprecation. I wonder how many people have stolen today, so I don't even look for the money over their head. That's another thing that pisses me off too, is I feel like people will steal like the dumbest things. Like, we just lose pens all the time. And I'm like, really? Like, if all the things you can steal a pen, really? But people also just like walk in the door, take stuff, and then walk back out, and we're just not supposed to do anything about it. I think it's the number one thing that pisses people off being in retail, is it's like, you're supposed to protect the store, but you're also not supposed to protect it too much, because then you get punished. Like, you're either doing the right thing or the wrong thing, but it's always gonna, it's like double standards, I guess. It's kind of hard to articulate that. I don't think the best way to say it. So, if you tackle someone for stealing, you're gonna get fired because that's bad PR. PR meaning like public relations, you know, like you shouldn't tackle people on the way out of the store, even if they're stealing and if they're armed, which is actually what happened to a guy. One of my coworkers got fired 4 or 5 months ago. He was an ex-law enforcement ex-cop who tackled a guy who was robbing the store with a weapon, and I'm thinking, really, he got fired? And you know the worst thing, the crazier thing? My coworkers still make fun of him to this day for getting fired for that. I'm thinking, really? Like, is this the state of the, like, the world that we live in? Like, I don't know. I know people just talk about each other behind each other's backs. I feel like shit if I do that. Like, I'd rather just say things to people's faces and just be honest and be like, hey, we can fix things, you know? Another coworker I have, for example, he's, like, on his phone all day. I mean, the line's not always super busy. I mean, it is on a good day, but, days where it's not super busy, he just kind of sits there on his phone. While I was talking about customers being kind of like zombies, he feels kind of like a customer that you get to work with. My coworker, who's also a cashier. So, it's a bit of a running joke that he's not quite there, and like he's been told many times, hey, don't forget to do like basic things, and he'll just forget, and I'm like, okay. But you know what, I can't have too high expectations with him, like it's, well, actually that said, we do make a decent wage here, so I'm happy with that. Maybe there is some minimal amount of expectation there. But it'll just be like, hey, if we're damaging something out, be sure to like put the tag on it, so that's whenever we're scanning it to be shipped out, that it can do that properly. And he hasn't done that, and he's worked there, I think, about twice as long as I have. Although I make more than he does, because, I mean, just this understanding mutually that if you understand more and you can do more, then you might as well. And your managers and boss will very much see that. I'm also glad that the pay matches the work ethic. So that's one of the things I think that's actually done right, and it's nothing to do with American consumerism. That's another thing that pisses me off with customers, though. Oh, the people that over the phone, they'll call you up and they'll be like, "Hey, I've got this problem," and they proceed to give you like 8-minute prologue as to just something really simple, or like something I'm gonna transfer them over to like the relevant department for. Like they'll say, "Oh, hey, I've been looking for this pair of Jordans for the past like 3 months, and I couldn't find them at this store, this store, this store," and they just go on and on and on, and it ends with me saying, "I'll transfer you over to footwear. Give me 20 seconds." Like, I didn't need to hear all that. It's great that you want to share that, I guess, and I don't know. On a good day, I feel like I would care. I want to care, but also, like, if I have customers waiting in line, because the front end's also supposed to be the ones taking care of that, then, you know, I've got other things I need to be doing, I suppose. I like, again, double standards, ironically. I was talking about corporate having double standards with firing people for defending the store, but, me also saying, "Oh, hey, you know, like, having a lot to do on the front end, but then also joking about the coworker who's on his phone if it's not super busy." So I don't know, there's a bit of an ebb and flow to it. It's never gonna be perfect, I don't expect it to be either. But, human decency is a good thing if it's held to a decent standard, although I feel like it's slowly slipped over time. Like, even some of the stories, like the older guy just handing me trash and not saying a word, my dad gave me a look, he was like, "Really? Like, they do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to 2025, I guess." So, just crazy. Casual segue, nonchalant segue, normal segue. How do I want to segue this? There was one time I had a customer, so you can do what's called a no receipt return, which just means, like, you bought an item but don't have the receipt, but want to return it. But, our systems are very picky about that, so there's a whole process for it. You have to scan their ID and everything. Like, there's an internal track record of it, so people can't be fraudulent anyways. And, point being, I've had people crash out over paying like 19 cents in taxes when we're trying to match the price on something we really shouldn't be matching the price on, just for like nice customer service. Because technically they didn't pay tax on the thing that's being returned according to our system anyways, and like, you gotta pay taxes. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate the government as much as the next person, but like, they crash out at us rather than like just bring a receipt next time. Like, keep track of these things, you know? It's not like one person says something, I've seen it from a few different people. Like, it's insane what's considered normal nowadays, honestly. Anyways, on a completely unrelated note, it was kind of funny. So I try to move around fast. This is a general statement. This applies to my job. This applies to real life. Real life, I guess, is also having a job. So that didn't really need to be said. But this morning I got up at later time, hopped on Discord with one of my friends, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Talked about stuff for a while. I think we actually talked about church and stuff. He goes to a different church than I do, but we were just chatting it up about God and Jesus and good redneck southern stuff. And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be back in 10-15 minutes or whatever, I'm gonna go shower and make lunch," and he was like, "Okay, I don't think that's gonna happen, but, you know." I'm like, "Oh, really? Time me." So I managed to shower and make a cheese quesadilla, which I think queso literally means cheese, so kind of redundant word, but quesadilla is not. I don't know. I know very little about Spanish. I just remember one of my Spanish homies telling me about that or something. So they're still checking out, even though it's past clothing time. It's 22:30 in the upper left corner. 37:46. So I managed to do all of that in, like, I think 10 minutes, 46 seconds or something, which I was pretty happy with. I lost a little bit of time on the, waiting on the shower to heat up, because I am one of those people that, if it's a cold shower, will wait to enter because I don't like it being that cold. Can't do it. In fact, I like it so hot it's like almost burning temperature. And I was kind of happy with that. I was like, man, I wish I could go back to taking super fast showers like when I was younger. Now I just sit in there and have an existential crisis every time I get up in the morning. So, fun thoughts. It's really funny too, because you can have a bright future from a young age and think about the way that life's going, but you don't always get that good outcome, that future that you're hoping for, that future that makes sense either. Be nice if we did, but it's like, oh, you got good grades in school? What are you doing right now? You're 21, you know, you finished college well? I'm like, nope, I'm in Dick's Sporting Goods, working. Not that I hate it, it's just sometimes it's hard to enjoy. Because of good old American consumerism. There's a bunch of other things I could complain about as well, they're just not on the front of my mind, because I suck at planning things out, and focusing, and everything good in this world. I'm just really terrible at it. With all that said, thank you for watching tonight's sad reality. I hope this hasn't been too depressing. Please respect the employees at stores. That would be nice. That would make my day and many other people. Their days. Trust me, they're people too. Even if sometimes we just feel like menial, is that the word? Just random worker, you know? But we care, we have lives, we have parents and friends and stuff. So, I don't know, maybe like buy them a pack of candy. I had one customer buy me a pack of mini Starbursts the other day.